Fun, fun, fun.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Hello. Hi. So, we're going to just jump right into it today. I'm the goddess of radical self-love, here for Mecca, and first we're going to start out with a reading. I'll get to that. Meditations from Conversations with God, Neale Donald, Walsh. Look to your experience to find your truth. And you can look to my experience to find my truth on The Snake That Never Sheds, my memoir that's on Patreon. So I was listening to one of my guides this morning, and I'll leave the link in both the newsletter and under the video. And she actually brought up this story from the New York Times, and she was using it in a different light, but it just kind of rang a bell. So the story is called How One Journalist's Death Provoked a Backlash That Thousands Dead in Yemen Did Not. It's by Max Fisher, October 17th. So I just have little excerpts in here from it. Any reporter who has covered a humanitarian disaster should understand what Stalin is once reported to have said to a fellow Soviet official. The death of one person is a tragedy, but the death of 1 million is a statistic. And this is why news coverage of famine or a flood will often highlight the story of one victim. So, what does this have to do with Mecca and the goddess of radical self-love and our caregivers and care receivers? So, I'll keep reading, and maybe some of you will start to be able to understand a little. It's not easy to wrap one's mind around thousands of deaths. It has become an obstruction of geopolitics, economics, conflict, and dynamics of statistics. But a single death can be understood in more relatable of terms, say a grieving father or a desperate spouse. Now, just that, I want you to stop and think about the fact that we have such a large population going into their older age, and myself and my daughter and a lot of people we know, a lot, have been utilizing this long-term care services and support system for many years, and it has not been the greatest of an experience, and it still continues to struggle. There's a lot of funding issues, but I mean, it was a deep, dark rabbit hole that I fell down, and it's scary. So I'll keep reading. Psychologists have repeatedly found that people experience a greater emotional reaction to one death than to many, even if circumstances are identical. Perversely, the more victims, the less sympathy that people feel. The more victims, the less sympathy that people feel. system is not pretty. The long-term services and support system needs a revamp, complete revamp. And it's actually pretty easy to do because all the players are there. The effect even has a name, collapse of compassion. Which is so odd because I had actually heard that earlier on another one of my guides' channels, collapse of compassion. Yes, for the Scorpio season. What will collapse your compassion? It's not that we can't care about 1,000,000 deaths, psychologists believe. Rather, we fear being overwhelmed and switch off our emotions in preemptive self-defense. Understanding those events on an intellectual level is difficult enough, but understanding them on an emotional level may simply be beyond us. So I honestly don't think I need to read anymore because I understand that possibly some of you may not know about all the abuse cases, the neglect cases, that have affected our elderly and our disabled population, not to mention accessibility. The system is, how do I say, it's surviving. It's surviving, not thriving. And we need a system that thrives, okay? And I know that it's going to be a lot of work, but here's the thing. If each and every one of us can understand that somebody within our lives, our family, our friends, is one of these people, is us, then the shutdown of the emotional overwhelming of how large the problem is, it gets to be smaller, like in the article. So we can use one person's story. Yours. However, I would like to use yours on our channel. For now, we're just going to keep going with ours because, you know, 21 years is a long time to gain a lot of information about government-funded programs for people who are on medical benefits because of a chronic illness. How to understand the level of communication it takes to make sure your needs are being met, and especially how that's done if you're not speaking English as a first language. So extra attention needs to be paid to support everyone in the ways that they need, in all the different nuances. Mecca knows how to do that by supporting the resources that are working. Yep. And we all get to decide together. If you become a member of Mecca, you get to decide for yourself what resources you support so that the rest of us can utilize them as well. So we're making a home care, health care, long-term services and supports Candyland. Yeah. So it's going to be fun. And to all my caregivers, thank you for keeping on pushing on and doing the right thing, making the right choices. Even at times, putting yourself in harm's way to make sure others' needs come before yours because you know at this point in the game, it's really difficult for the caregivers to receive the support they need. That's why we're here. We're going to do this together. We're each other's support. I'm your support. You're my support. Please be my support. Please. Thank you. For your support. Thank you for believing, because it's going to take you and me. Because I only understand what I need. You understand what you need. And then by us talking about it, we can find the resources we both need with our best interest in mind. Ours together. So, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Anyway, Mecca's having a great week, and I am super excited to have our newest partner coming on board, and you will be able to find more all about Dr. Kate on our website within the next week. So can't wait to talk to you all about that more, and come back to the Patreon for our Mecca Maslow so we can introduce that, and we can each go through our boxes and move on up like Tetris. It will be fun. I told you, all my stuff is fun. And yeah, don't forget, the Snake That Never Sheds is also available, so you can follow me along on my journey from going from the Snake That Never Sheds to the Goddess of Radical Self-Love. Yep, it was a long journey. I'm still on it. Well, the Snake That Never Sheds is shed. And now it's me. So, I love you all. Thank you so much for every like and share and donation. Thank you. Love you.